This is an improvisational porch. Clearly not a porch. And I am where I am today. So this is what we're having to use, live and replay viewers. I would love to offer you a chance to greet April fully here on the porch today. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we approach a new month, how we make it invigorating, exciting, full of potential. Um, Even and especially when you are in retirement or retirement age. And hey, K and Row hiking happens. So good to see you. So here we are on the pretend porch, starting our morning. Well, I've actually been steady at work since before 6 a.m. because that's what I like. I like doing that. So it's interesting because I was having a conversation about like what retirement is, and for someone like me who has had an unconventional life since my late 30s with no full-time job during that time. Did have part-time work and gig work and freelance work and entrepreneurial stuff. And yeah, but I didn't have a conventional job where I went and worked for someone else and, did all those sorts of things. So I would love it if you are of retirement age, whether you're live or on the replay, if you want to put a thought or two about how you view retirement. Um, and maybe put something in there that you're really happy in the comments about what you're really happy about the way your life is shaped right now. Here in April 2026, what is it about your life that you find most pleasing to you? For some of us, it might be freedom from other people's expectations or a boss. And as someone who has been her own boss for a long time, my boss can be pretty annoying. I hope you brought your coffee cups. This is, oh, look at my lipstick on there. The perils of wearing lipstick. But my granddaughter really loves this mug that I have here. I collect mugs just so, like, if any of you really care, that's a good thing to think about. It's interesting because when I think about how my life is different now than it was a few years ago, it's quite different. And one of the things that is the same, though, is a lot of the things that I enjoy are the same. So if there's something that you're enjoying right now, I would also love to hear about that. Okay, here's a different way to ask that question. What are you enjoying as you fill your days? So considering you're filling your days with different activities. So can row, hiking happens. I know they're on the trail some days, and they're in the garden some days, and they're at the gym some days, and they're teaching some days. And so it's a really full life. And my perspective way back when I was thinking about retirement, I had a totally different perspective of what I thought it was. So with all of that, with me jabbering on and on. Okay, Ken Rose says, definitely the freedom and so happy to not be on the daily grind. Yes. Thank you for the compliment. Lean, thank you. Um, yes, the daily grind. What's so interesting for me is I have a very structured routines that I do. And part of the reason I do that is because I enjoy them. So I know a lot of people heading in retirement, they say they don't want a job and they feel like some of these routines, like they look at my life and they just kind of shake their heads like, huh? But that's what I enjoy. I enjoy having my daily routine. And I also enjoy that I can opt out of my daily routines. That's good. I would say especially my earliest morning routine, I pretty much stick to every day, even when I have other things going on. So it's good to see people here. Hello and good morning. If you're just coming in, if you would like this video, and if you're watching on replay, if you would like the video as well. I always like to treat my replay viewers as if they are live. So one of the things that I do is I go back regularly and look at the comments and things that come up in the replay and treat them the same way and have great engagement and conversations and that during the replay as well. I have not had coffee today, and there is no coffee in this mug. You all here who are here live know this is simply a prop. There's water in this mug, no coffee. I'm not in my usual space and I haven't set up my coffee space here yet. So, no coffee. That's one of my things for adding next week. Let's see what else. She says, very sleepy, no caffeine person here, Julie. So, uh, I'll tell you something that I'm doing. I'm doing a couple things in April differently, and they also impact my YouTube stuff. You like the freedom to set your own schedule. Yeah, that's awesome, Ninj. It really is great to be able to do that. And to do spontaneous things, I try to do spontaneous things too. That's lots of fun. Um, but in April, I have quite a few different things going on. And some of those things that I do include, or that I'm doing include, I am writing a poem a day, and I posted my first one. Oh, that would be an interesting idea, Kenro. Try the green screen for the yeah, maybe I'll try that before next time. But next time I think I'll be on my porch actually. I'll actually be there. And I have an alternative porch setting for this live. And unfortunately, it is too damp and cold to use that this morning. But I have a really cool setting that you can all look forward to. It's top secret right now. But it's one of my favorite spots in this backyard. So, but yeah, in the interim, like if it's raining or something, which it will do, and the porch alternative here does not have a roof. I'll just say that. I could get a green screen for that. I had it all figured out, and then this morning I just no. The caffeinated Julie would have figured it out. The uncaffeinated Julie's like, "Mm-mm, no, I'm not doing that." Hey, CL Fantasy Wave, so good to see you. I'm grateful that you're here. So yes, that's a great idea, Canro. I always love your innovations. Your innovations are so helpful. But so in April, I'm writing a poem every day. Miss M, Miss M, you would probably like to know that I am going to be posting my own poetry daily in shorts. So that is kind of intimidating, and I'm going to do it. I posted poem number 2 here. Poem number 1 has a much prettier, more interesting background, and I will post that eventually. I posted that on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, which I don't think any of you do, and that's okay. I don't expect people to follow me all over the place. But on Instagram, I'm sharing that. And also, I'm doing something on Instagram called the Writer Friends Challenge, which I've done for years. And I'm doing that shorts style, hello, so that I can double the content in different spaces. So I'm experimenting as always. So I'm experimenting with those two things this month, bringing my writer life in. Hello, Kasaf Shahar. Nice to see you. I'm not sure if I pronounced your name correctly, and I apologize if I didn't. But hello, grateful for your presence here. So those are two things that I'm trying in April, where I am kind of having a little bit of a reunion with myself, since I realized that I had put my writing self kind of on the shelf in January. I think I had burnout, and I was just like, just like I put my other social media, bye, I'll see y'all later when I'm back from my trip. But I literally put that all up on the shelf. It's like saying bye Facebook, bye Instagram, bye Substack, and I'm really working to maximize what I'm creating, so I'm not having to create more. So it is wonderful to see you all. And yeah, Miss Sam, I hope you're feeling great. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're feeling content. It's always a pleasure to see you. I enjoy hanging out with you. And when I do things that feel pretty daring to me, like sharing poetry that I've written to a different audience, it's scary. It's really scary. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable and unsettled. So there's that. The other thing that I'm doing in April is I am going back to house sitting. And it's kind of house sitting season. And I'm basically doing like one house sitting gig a month. So in April, I'm house sitting in Silver Spring, Maryland again. And then in May, I'm house sitting in Pittsburgh again. I'm really excited about that one because that couple with two dogs I adore are getting married. Well, I'm taking care of their doggies in their house, and they have this deck where you can see sunrise and sunset. Like I could sit out on that deck and just hang all day if that was my choice. But being able to see sunrise and sunset from the same location, I'm like, was this home built for me? Sometimes I feel like that. So, okay. All right. I'm glad that you're doing okay. We're glad that you're doing okay. You're working today. Oh, that's so nice of you. See all fantasy waves. That's so great. So that's new for me in April, May, and then in June, 2 weeks in June and a week in July, I will be back in Silver Spring, Maryland, because I'm a creature of habit, and I like those people and I like those pets. So there will be more content about house sitting and nomading during those times. And I'm pretty sure that the experience will be much better than my experience that I had in California in January and February, which was rough. But the road tripping was fabulous. So, okay. Thank you, Canro. Oh, that reminds me. I need to, okay, who else? Who were, okay, hang on a second. I'm going to do a couple of things here. Um, for some of my friends who are here regularly, I like to give you special, um, there we go. Please continue to talk amongst yourselves as, as I do this. Um, you might know what I'm doing. I'm making people moderators. Let's see. Okay. All right. I wanted to make some people moderators, and I wanted to promote people as moderators. Well, I'll play with that afterwards. Because now when I log on, I see that I can have different levels of moderators, which is pretty fun. So thank you. I'm with you, Ninj. I really I call them practices. Practices feel more like my spiritual side comes out with practices. Although, if you haven't read Atomic Habits, I strongly suggest it's a really good read. And what I love about James Clear's approach in Atomic Habits is that he talks about creating your systems around your identity. So, when I talk about having that reunion with my writer self, I had put that writer self identity kind of over here, like on the shelf in Sussex when I took off and did my road tripping and everything. So thank you. Thank you, CL Fantasy Waves. I appreciate that. Um, and it really feels good to get it back in the work that I'm doing, because I'm back to I'm working on a different book. The one book is done and we're just waiting for the publication date, etc. I do habit stacking also. Have y'all heard of habit stacking? Maybe that's something you'd like to try in April if you haven't. Um, I would think some of the most professional habit stackers, I would say, are working moms out of necessity, working families too, dads also. Um, yeah, habit stacking is great, and so to know what habit stacking is, that's when you put one habit and you kind of put them together in a stack. So one action leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and they all fit together really well. You've heard of habit stackers, yeah. Stackers, yeah, habit stacks and habit stackers. I'm trying to think of one of the like my morning routine or my morning practices are all stacked in a very specific way. And I do some modifications because I've been experimenting with one habit or practice, which is writing 100 sentences a day at one time. I always write over 100 sentences a day. But when you say, I'm going to write my 100 sentences now, it's people just kind of go, you're going to do what? That sounds like the strangest thing. But what that habit does is it helps me to sort of grease the writing wheels. And I like to grease my writing wheels with really interesting sentences. So it allows me to play with language, and it really helps with the poetry. It really helps with poetry, because sometimes I will grab a line out of someone else's work and I will just sit there and rewrite it 10 sentences, rewriting them. Is that a strong enough verb? Yes, strong verbs. I'll focus on strong verb. And do you like how I'm typing while I talk? I try the strong verb. Okay, that's good. That's good. And sometimes I'll literally build the sentences on the last. It's a really fun practice, and I just started doing that. I've been doing it now for about 12 days. And that's one of my before I get down to serious writing practices. So a habit stack for you if you're about to go for a hike might be stretching, might be slow walking, for me, habit stacking with walking is oftentimes writing, bringing my notebook along and writing after I walk or I hike. So, oh, that is fabulous, Miss M. You know who else writes poems like that is Edna St. Vincent Millay. If you don't know who she is, she will definitely come up in April since it's National Poetry Month. She wrote poetry. She would totally write the whole poem in her head before writing it down. My process is much different. I need to write by hand most of the time, and I'll have all these different little scribbles around, and then I'll put them into one. Yes, we'd love to see your poem, Miss M, if you're comfortable doing that. It would be really, really fun to see what you're up to with writing and writing poetry, although I know sometimes it's really intimidating to share. I mean, I've been doing open mics and poetry performances for such a long time. It's like they're a part of my identity, and yet making the videos and sharing my videos on YouTube for whatever reason felt scary to me. Yes, you're right. I would say W.H. Auden was one of the best poets of all times. Thank you for saying that, Scott. I would say that Auden definitely is an incredible poet. If you can see what Scott said, and if you're not familiar with Auden, there it is. Oh, you'll share it with everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Miss M. Someone I know, I don't know where, I think it was on Substack, shared about Millay and a St. Vincent Millay. Oh, yeah, it was. It was from a lady called Literary Ladies. And I have been to Edna St. Vincent Millay's home in Austerlitz, New York, which is close to the Massachusetts border. And I bet it basically stumbled into the area because I was lost, kind of. And I'm like, Austerlitz, this is where Steepletop is. And I called and I was able to finagle a private tour of Edna St. Vincent Millay's home. I know you poetry lovers are probably falling all over yourself with envy. I loved it. And I'll tell you all because you're here in this group, so you can get the private stuff. But the tour guide even let me, because I think he was so he maybe I was just weird enough, but he opened up one of her drawers and I said, "Stop a minute. May I just put my face down close to that drawer? I just want to really kind of feel the essence of." I know it's crazy, but that tour continues to be one of my favorite tours of all places. The other poet's home that I think all people should visit if you're in Massachusetts is Emily Dickinson's home. I've been on Emily Dickinson's home tour like 5 times, and there are times when I have just hung out on the property. There's nice benches, you can sit in the garden, you can walk in circles, there's a little path. Emily Dickinson's home, amazing. So they also have a birthday celebration every September. I have not gone yet. Last September, I said to my friend Peggy, we're going next September, but now with circumstances, I'll have to wait until 2027. It's good to see you, Scott. I don't think we've met before, so it's terrific to see you here in the live. If anyone else has come in and hasn't said they're here, it would be great to see a comment about how you are celebrating April, maybe some plans you have for April. Maybe one of the things I thought of talking about, but I won't today because we only have 10 minutes left, is how I like to kind of settle my month at the end of the month. That's a good idea, Kevin and Ro, Ken Ro, Hideout and Emily Dickinson. Yeah. They actually rent out Emily Dickinson's room um, for people to sit in there for an hour in her bedroom. Yeah. Yes, I know I'll go to her birthday celebration. Maybe we can plan it for 2027 now. I'm actually planning 2027 already. So you paint every weekend. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I think it was you. I think it was you, CL Fantasy Waves, who said in a comment, I don't vlog. It's just too like too much, and you'll stick with your painting. And yeah, that's great. I love painting videos, and I look forward to seeing your painting. Do you live stream when you paint? I don't know if you do or you don't. So yeah, 2027, I will be in Santa Fe, New Mexico again, and I will be in my beloved Las Vegas, New Mexico. Painting is really a talent. That's nice of you to say, Canro. One thing I really would like to do in April is to do some co-working, writing co-working, maybe even here on YouTube on a live, just set up, office hours and write together. Oh, you haven't done any live streaming. I would say I used, again, something else I used to do that I don't do anymore is I'm sure CL's super talented. Is when I was on Periscope, we did an art share on Saturday, and we would each do an hour live stream of us creating our art and talking to people as we were creating our art. And that was so fun. And we'd go from live stream to live stream to live stream to live stream, as many as you would want. I mean, not everybody wants to sit there, but a lot of people who are creating and painting, it's fun to watch other people and work, because most people were doing their painting or whatever they were creating alongside everybody else. I've been on one live stream like that on YouTube before I had a community that I belonged to. We did, she would sit there and write, and you would come in and just be, I guess some people would like to sit there and watch her write. I don't know. But there's something about that. I would say Jennifer, introvert in Alaska, she's doing a decluttering collaboration right now. And I watched her video this morning and I said, okay, I need to turn on your decluttering and declutter with you with her video on. I also do that with Ninja. Ninja has some meditation videos that he has set up. And I use his videos, his meditation videos, for timed writing. So that's one way that, I help him out by watching his videos and getting that watch time up. But I'm also, okay, I need half an hour to read because I need to keep my reading life alive. So we have Ninja and M are introverts. Any other introverts in the house? I'm not an introvert. Yes. Oh, that's very cool, CL. Very cool. There are a whole group of folks who are doing this challenge. So it will be interesting and helpful for me to have somebody to actually do my decluttering as I pack up and finish this process, which has been quite the long process. So I'll just say that I'm an ambivert, which means I am both introverted and extroverted. I really enjoy being around people, and there's times when if I've been alone in the house for too long, I literally need to go out and seek people out. Not necessarily, well, friends, I love being with friends, but if there's no friends, and in Sussex there oftentimes aren't friends, I'll just go to a place, or I'll even, go for a drive and feel the energy of other people. I do love Jennifer's outdoor adventures around Alaska. I was sad because there was that arch. I don't know if you saw the arch that she would visit, and that arch fell, and I felt sad about that. um, yeah, so I'm an ambivert, and it's funny because sometimes I get energy from other people, like when I come home from theater and I come home, like when I went out dancing on Sunday. Um, I'm very excited and hyped up. And then there's times when I really need to be alone and I need that quiet. I get restored and quiet, so I never quite know. But at the same time, one of my favorite things to do is to create alongside other people. So I can be with another person and we can both be doing our own thing. This is probably ambiverted, but it's cool to be across the room from someone, and both be steadily creating. I know the ravens are just incredible. And I think Jennifer has such an eye for the ravens, and I think the ravens like her energy, as strange, as woo-woo and odd as that sounds. Yeah. There are, why did their name go out of my head? The grackles There's, I have not seen grackles in Sussex, so people tell me they're there, but I do see crows, and right around here, I saw one of my favorite red-winged blackbirds the other night. I love those. Yeah, Jennifer is really cool. Miss M, your parents have to force you out of the house? Okay, so here's something else I'm celebrating. We have 4 more minutes, so keep thinking about celebrations in April. By the way, other months, it's National Poetry Month. It's also National or Autism Awareness Month. You have a lot of pelicans. That's cool. I love solitude too. But if you have a month you're celebrating, feel free to shout it out in the comments, whether you're live or on the replay. Shout it out. Um, I think it's also, it might be Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I believe I saw something about that, which is a tougher one. But, you know, we need to be aware of these things. But my thought about autism awareness made me think that yesterday, my son called me not once, not twice, but 3 times. Three, 3 times. Now, for a mother of a grown son to call, see her son's name on her phone, it's like the skies, it's kind of like eating that pesto for the first time. The skies open up, and when we have conversations that last more than 2 minutes, and he actually uses words with multiple syllables, and he seems so happy to talk to me. Yeah, really amazing. It's good to celebrate all those months, Miss M. I agree. And one thing I saw that Can Rose said, Miss M, go outside. Sometimes I go outside to seek solitude. I go outside and experience the outdoors alone, and it is heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. Pelicans are cool, says kangaroo hiking happens. They saw them in North Carolina. I'm trying to think when the last time was I saw pelicans. Okay, so next week, I'm trying to work out my goals for next week. Depending upon the weather, I would love to watch the sunset on the Delaware Bay. Oh, yes, going outside, feeling the breeze against your skin. Exactly, Miss M, exactly. And as a poet and creative, sometimes that fresh breeze on our skin, it hits our skin, which is a sensory thing, which is lovely. But also, like this time of year, if you don't have allergies, with all the blossoming that's happening, you'll pick up scents from all over the place, and that's just, oh, lovely. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, that's wonderful that you attended Autism Speaks events. That's great. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. My one of my friends that I met actually at Drew University when I did my United Nations semester there, she worked for Autism Speaks for quite a while in fundraising. So, um, yeah, I totally lost my train of thought thinking about going outside. I also love going outside after the rain because there's some really good scents then. And if you don't mind, like getting your feet muddy, your shoes muddy, the being in the mud, the muddy dirt, actually, it's good in so many ways because you're being more aware of how you're putting your feet down, up and down. And so you're working your balance and the scent of the mud. I also really love the scent of like wet grass. And I also really love the smell of decomposition. I know that sounds strange. You were hiking in the rain on Bear Mountain yesterday? On the New York side? Oh man. I actually have a rain poncho that I got for hiking. You'll be proud of me for that, Can Row. It's very cute. And I got that when I was spending time with that unfortunate person who left me out on Pochac Mountain. But it wasn't raining when we were out on that particular hike. See, look at that, Miss M. I see how this conversation has brought up things that you love to do outside the house. Your parents would be thrilled. So my kids, this is another exciting thing that's happening in April and beginning of May. 2 of my adult children and their partners, boyfriends, girlfriends are going to Disneyland at the same time, and they're doing overnights. They'll be staying in separate rooms in the same hotel. This makes me so happy. Hi, Grandma Moore. Listening to the birds and seeing the trees starting to get their leaves. Oh, it is amazing. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but um, I am. There will be there'll be at least one short coming up with very beautiful magnolia blossoms. So smelling the crisp rain. Yes. Thank you, Grandma Moore, for describing that for us. It's wonderful. It's definitely wonderful. Mm. It's interesting too because here on in the Mid-Atlantic states, there's such a different schedule for blooming, blossoming springtime than there was in California. So it's amazing to see what happens when I would visit Catherine when I was in California, and then I would go to visit her on spring break in Massachusetts. I would say, I get spring twice because spring in Central California is basically in February. And one time I directed a play in February called First Kisses. Does this surprise any of you who know me well? Julie the Hopeless, Hopeful Romantic. And it was about first kisses. And this all the scenes took place in a like in a meadow or something. It's like a place that this couple went to for years. And part of our set was we had trees that were built out of actual branches, and for every performance we brought in new flowers, and there were flower petals and there were leaves around the stage. And that brought in that um, element of the sense of smell of the outdoors in. And the other thing is there were 10 scenes, and in each of these scenes there were different people portraying the same character. And so throughout the play, during scene change times, when they'd move from one character to another, or different actors, people would be going out and putting out and taking away different elements of nature onto the stage. And this was a theater that was what's called a black box theater. And so the audience literally sits around the playing space. So there was a proscenium, which is like the front of the stage. And then out here is the playing space. And then around this, like, whoop, 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 is where the audience sits. So the audience could smell the sense of outdoors. And I always felt like it was great because you could see the past versions or the future versions of these characters. I know, sorry for bouncing off into theater, but it fits, right? Oh, yes, yes. Ninja has the Merlin app. That's fantastic. And Ro has that app too. I've seen her use it, and I do the same thing. I stop on trail if I don't recognize a bird. I'm getting a little bit better at some of my more familiar bird friends, which is fun. Since I also step outside my door and I greet the birds. One of my friends says that I'm like a Disney princess with all that weird stuff that I do. Thank you so much. Hi, Norma. Beautiful day there for Good Friday. Oh, you love the smell too. Thank you. I am talking right now. I'm talking from Hopewell Township in southern New Jersey. I have Irish roots, so I'm always happy to meet people from Ireland. Yeah, so I'm so glad to hear that about Ireland. And yes, it's Good Friday, a very important day in the Christian calendar. So I'm grateful that you brought that in. Oh, CL Fantasy Waves. What kind of birds do you see from your bird feeder? Do you know the kind they are? Yes, I love that fresh cut grass smell. It's amazing, especially for me if there's that the crisp moisture in the air, sometimes in the air. And all of these have to do with April also. Okay. All right, we'll give it a couple more minutes. Mm. Cardinals, doves, finches, blue jays, and more. Those are similar to the birds that live in my neighborhood too. I have also a lot of Carolina Wren. Carolina Wren have beautiful song. They're amazing. And mourning doves. I really like mourning doves. Grandma Moore, you have an annoying woodpecker. Not just a woodpecker, but an annoying one. I have one of those too. I greet him with great joy. I don't know if it's a him or her, but I do greet that woodpecker with great joy. Mostly because the window outside my bedroom as a little girl also had a persistent woodpecker. So we have annoying woodpeckers, we have woodpeckers, we have persistent woodpeckers. Blue jays are the ones that get me. I was literally one time outside of a restaurant and a blue jay attacked me at my head, like dive bombed on me. And I've had blue jays dive bomb my cats. And I'm like, no, no, you will not dive bomb my cats. No. Oh, yeah, woodpeckers will do that. Yeah, blue jays are bullies. You have eagles? Eagles? Eagles, owls, and hawks. I do see hawks at High Point State Park, which is near where I live. And there are eagle mating places not far from where I live, but I haven't seen an eagle. Maybe I wasn't looking well enough. The one place where I saw an eagle, so I don't have cats in New Jersey. I have cats in California. Um, Catherine's allergic. When I was walking in a park I was in around Lorton, Virginia. I was visiting a friend, a college friend, and I had my Merlin app out and I'm walking along and I'm like, what is that bird? And I clicked and it was an eagle. So then we were all looking and we spotted the eagle. And I was like, oh my gosh. To me, that was like the most exotic thing. So, hawks in Indiana. I was in Indiana on my road trip that's coming up. I stayed in South Bend. Go Notre Dame. I was so excited to be to be there in South Bend. Not that I did anything. I didn't do a darn thing in South Bend except for sleep and chat with the guy at the front desk who was a senior in high school, who was proudly accepted at Purdue. We had a conversation about how great Purdue was. I didn't let on that I was happy that I was in South Bend because of Notre Dame. I was just like, wow, right on. You're going to study engineering. You're so impressive. I bet your mom's so proud of you. I bet it doesn't surprise any of you that I act that way around complete strangers. So. Oh my goodness, look at all these so what do people in Indiana call themselves? Do you call yourself Indiana Ins? Drexel University in Philly. I want to go back. Like all these places where I went, I want to go back. Hoosiers, that's right, Hoosiers, Hoosiers, Hoosiers. Did you know that people from, that's right, I should know basketball. um, People from Phoenix are called Phoenicians. You're near Pensacola Bay in Florida. That's fantastic. I bet you do. I bet you do. I'm trying to guess Pensacola. Is that in northern Florida? I used to go to um, Fort Lauderdale every year, sometimes twice a year, but that's South Florida. So I don't know if I've been to Pensacola. I have been to a place um, in North Florida. I can never remember its name, but I know it was near Destin because the beach there and the gold or the not gold, the emerald colored beaches were amazing. The Panhandle. Okay. So I think I flew into Pensacola. It was 10 years ago, so something else you don't know is that I had a foster daughter, raised her from the time she was 7 until she was 18, and then she grew up. So when she had her first baby, she was having some challenges, so I flew to Pensacola to help her out. I flew to near Destin Beach to help her out with that baby, who's now 10 years old and now lives in Tennessee. Okay, Panama City Beach, yeah. Good morning, Rhonda. So good to see you. We're just about wrapping up. In fact, I'm over time. And what's happening is what YouTube says will happen, that if you're on a live stream long enough, the people will just keep coming in. And we had some new people today, and I'm just so delighted. New friends from Ireland. And that reminds me, let me go back. Excuse me for a minute. We were talking about birds, which was so super fun. Okay, hang on a second, everybody. Okay. We had new people, including Scott, who loves Auden, W.H. Auden, amazing poet. And so that was really fun. And I'm like, how do these people find me and know that I might like these things? To have an Irish person show up was just amazing because hello, I love my Irishness. I love my Irishness. So that's always really fun. And who mentioned Good Friday and Pastor's mom? Good Friday is really important. That's why I'm still here because yesterday was Maundy Thursday. And so I was here with the little one while both pastor parents were at church. So Maundy Thursday, if you didn't know, is the night of the Last Supper. And if I didn't know that Catherine was going to become a pastor, thank you, Ninj. If I didn't know my daughter was going to become a pastor when she was 5 years old, we were sitting in church, I think probably on sometime during Lent, and the pastor was talking about the Garden of Gethsemane, which is an important time when Jesus was like basically asking his heavenly Father, please don't make me do this, God, please. I really don't want to do this. This is the Julie version, the Julie translation. And little 5-year-old Catherine looked over at me with a serious look on her face. I'll interpret it here. Let me take a sip of water for this. When the sermon was over, little Kathy looked at me. I called her Kathy then. She looked at me and she said, he didn't want to, but he had to. So he did. And I was just little theologian baby right there. And sure enough, she's now a bona fide theologian. Oh, you're listening to Celtic music. Celtic music is amazing. I listen to it too. Miss Em, I'm glad we have that in common. So what I really like about new people showing up, I'm really trying to work on my reach. Because when I look at my content, I get a lot of engagement related to how many people are watching my videos. And what I really need to improve on is my reach. So that's something I'm actively working on. So, okay, we'll really only go 3 more minutes because somebody needs to head north. So, because I'm singing tonight on Good Friday in church. So, and I'm singing on Easter morning, not for the sunrise service though. Anyway, wow, we've had a lot of really great folks in here today. I'm so grateful. If you haven't had a chance to like the video, I would appreciate it before you go. Yep, she's upstairs right now with her little girl. It has been really awesome to have you here, CL Fantasy Waves. I hope that you have a wonderful time painting this weekend. I doubt I'll get any painting. I might do some doodling, but that's about it. Yes, I love meeting new people too. It's really fun. Okay. All right, everybody. If you want to start heading out, that's great. If there's any final words you'd like to say to everybody, I would like to say thank you all so much for being here. It is such a pleasure to catch up with you on Friday mornings. Yeah, I'm really glad that Tracy suggested I do these. And I'm really looking forward to maybe next time I'm in this setting, I will get a green screen of the porch in Sussex, or what I'm going to be using is a porch here in Hopewell Township. So we'll see. But I love, part of the porch thing is we were talking about getting outside. Getting outside. That was great. So Miss M, Porch is good for getting outside. And yes, Ninja's going to be live in 2 hours. So if you want to get some great financial wisdom gained there, go check his live out. And if you haven't met him before, you can just tap his name and you'll be able to go straight to his channel and tap that notification so you'll know when he's live. All right. Anything else, y'all? Yeah. Bye, Ken Rowe. Bye, Miss M. Bye, Rhonda, if you're still here. Sure, you can ask what it's about. My channel is about aging joyfully. And around here, we age joyfully through doing the things that we love, by being intentional and purposeful, by road tripping, traveling, writing. We're doing poetry this month. having conversations like this one. We focus on gratitude and intentions on Mondays. On Thursdays, we do a poetry live stream. Here on Fridays, we have conversations on the porch, but we don't do, I'm not on a porch right now, but that's normally what we're doing. So, Sula, I'm thrilled that you are here. Um, so it's always great to meet people on lives. All right, guess what? My time is up. I am so thankful for each and every one of you. Your presence means a whole lot to me, and I look forward, as always, to the next time we connect. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon. By the way, thanks, Sula. That sounds lovely. I'm glad you're in. I'm happy that I'll get to know you better. Yes. Have a blessed day indeed. Each and all. Thank you, Rhonda. That's amazing. Thanks so much.